Royal Caribbean has made a major update to their health and safety protocols across all of their fleets. And while most of their protocols still stay intact, this huge change is a step towards normalcy. Hey there everyone, thank you so much for watching today. If this is your first time joining me for Cruise News, my name is Jordan and this is JJ Cruise. We're a YouTube channel that is obsessed with cruising. We jump from cruise ship to cruise ship to cruise ship, and when we're not on a cruise ship, I'm here in my newsroom. So if you like what you see, please hit that subscribe button. Today we're talking all about Royal Caribbean's health and safety protocols. Now, we know that all cruise lines have had to adhere to very strict guidelines per the CDC conditional sailing order in order to even restart their ships. But Royal Caribbean took a very different approach from the other cruise lines, and we're going to get into that. But before we do, I want to just remind everyone that we're going to be on Wonder of the Seas, a Royal Caribbean ship, this upcoming Friday, March 4th. We are hoping that we can celebrate 20,000 subscribers on that ship. So if you're not subscribed yet and you do want to hit that subscribe button, it is free to you and it would help us out so much. There's a lot of new people here to the channel, so welcome. Thank you so much for subscribing. We love you for subscribing, and we are only here able to do what we are doing because of you. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I look forward to Wonder of the Seas, and I look forward to a big party on board. Hopefully we can get some of your other favorite content creators that are going to be on board as well to party with us. But stay tuned, because lots of Wonder of the Seas content is coming down the channel starting next week in just a few days. The clock is ticking. Now, let's get into the health and safety protocol updates for Royal Caribbean. Now, of course, like most cruise lines, Royal Caribbean is sailing at a 95% vaccinated rate. That means 95% of the guests on board are fully vaccinated, leaving an extra 5% of the guests on board to be deemed unvaccinated passengers. Now, those that fall in the 5% range would be things like kids, so people that just aren't children that aren't old enough to become fully vaccinated, or those that have medical or religious exemptions. Now, Royal Caribbean did this very different thing where we saw them put separate areas on all of their ships. So there was vaccinated only areas, and then there was unvaccinated areas. Unvaccinated couldn't sit in certain parts of the theater. There was venues such as the casino and the Schooner Bar that they weren't allowed to go to. Well, I am excited that this is the news that I have to share today, because Royal Caribbean is doing away with those separated vaccinated versus non-vaccinated areas. I think this is huge news because this is a step towards normalcy. That is what we all want, right? We all want things to kind of go back to the way that they were before the pandemic. We want to be able to cruise like we cruised in 2019. And with Royal Caribbean doing away with these separated areas, that means that the unvaccinated and the vaccinated can be together again on their ship. This is great for families that have kids that, you know, because the kids were unvaccinated, there was places that they just couldn't go to. There was places in the theater that they couldn't sit. You know, if kids really like to sit down in front of the theater all the way up, they weren't allowed to. They had to sit typically up in the balcony, because that was where the unvaccinated space was. And more than anything, I hope, this is a little bit of speculation, but I hope we are going to see those bracelets go away. If you've sailed in 2021 on Royal Caribbean, you know exactly what I am talking about. Royal Caribbean made everyone wear bracelets to let you know who was vaccinated and who was not vaccinated. We don't know that these are going away for sure, but I certainly hope that this means that they are. The whole point of these bracelets were to help people know where they were allowed to go and weren't allowed to go, and help the security and the staff and crew on board know who is allowed in certain venues. And if you sailed, especially in October or November or December on Royal Caribbean, you know that they switched over from rubber bands to these disgusting cloth bracelets. They were the worst part of the cruise. They got wet when you went in the water. They like dangled on your wrist. in your food. They got smelly. They were just disgusting. I hope that those go away forever and they never come back. Now, there are certain protocols for unvaccinated that are still staying in place. If you do have unvaccinated kids, I am sorry to say that you still cannot get off at some ports and just roam around freely. You may have to be booking your tours directly through Royal Caribbean. Of course, when it comes to masks, Royal Caribbean did lift their mask mandate and made it kind of an optional thing for cruises here moving forward. If you're unvaccinated, you still do have to wear a mask in all indoor venues. And the cruise lines know that they have to do this. All of the major cruise lines came out this week reporting their Q4 numbers for 2021, and there were major losses. Norwegian, for example, lost billions of dollars. And it's because people don't want to cruise with all of these protocols. We've seen your comments in the comments section, and we understand there is a lot of you out there that will not take a cruise until things are a little bit more back to normal, or you don't have to go through the hassle of, for example, taking a COVID test before getting on board. Trust me, I know that COVID test it's annoying. I mean, I've taken over 50 of them at this point, and I will continue to do so if it means that I can cruise, but I sure do understand that it is not easy, and it definitely adds one additional step to your cruise that you just don't want to have to deal with. Especially if you're cruising on a cruise line like Disney or Virgin, of course. There is always that thing in your back of your mind, you show up to the port, you have to get tested day of, and you're like, well shoot, if I test positive, I'm not going to be getting on this ship today. I'm not totally sure if things like testing and the vaccine requirement will be lifted here yet this year. We might not see that go away until 2023. So if that's what you're waiting for, you still might have to wait a little bit longer to cruise. But for now, this unvaccinated versus vaccinated venue policy has been lifted, and I think that it's something to be thankful for. Like I said, the cruise lines know that they have to go back to a more normal way of cruising in order to get the masses to come back and begin cruising again. Cruising must become profitable so that it can become sustainable and we can keep seeing things like new ships come out in the future. Otherwise, we would see the cruise industry just go away completely. And trust me, that is not what we want to happen. So now, of course, like always, I turn this to you. Please let me know in the comments section, do you agree with me? Do you think that this, the doing away with this major protocol is moving us in the right direction towards cruising? Or are you someone that's cruising right now, vaccinated, and this actually freaks you out? You know, you don't really want to be around unvaccinated guests when you're cruising. I personally think this is a good thing. I've met a lot of families on royal ships in the past few months that really felt that they just couldn't go to certain venues, and they felt like it was a real big bummer and like this big damp cloth on their vacation. So for the sake of them, for the sake of groups, I'm personally really happy to see this move away. Let me know what you think in the comments. Of course, if you haven't yet and you're still thinking about hitting the subscribe button, I invite you to do so. And as always, if you're thinking about taking a vacation on a cruise ship in the future, give me a call. I can definitely help you out with that. Well, that's everything that I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. From all of us here at JJ Cruise, happy Saturday, and until next time, see ya.